And welcome back for another episode of Factory Fresh. I'm Lee Bailey.
I'm Hard John from Past Mag.
And we have some we were right kind of news to talk about.
This is a good week, yeah.
Last week, not even 7 days ago, because we record on Thursday and today is Tuesday. So in the space of 4 days, little background behind the curtain here. We record on Thursday afternoon our speculation about Toyota, what's going to happen with the GR line.
Yeah, the whole future of their lineup.
MR2 maybe, Celica coming back. So I get home that same night. I didn't check my email for a while because usually there's nothing happening after 5 o'clock. And so before I went to bed, I checked again and I looked at 3 consecutive press releases from Toyota in my inbox. And I'm like, what's this all about? So there's some stuff that they are confirming that I'm like, we were right.
Yeah.
We were right about this stuff. Some of it. Let me preface our audience by saying we weren't right. Like, we did speculate, and that not all the speculation has been confirmed. But I'll tell you what, some big stuff was later confirmed by Toyota. And the biggest one off the top, it's live on pastmag.com right now if our audience wants to go and check it out a bit later, is the GR Supra as we know it is indeed going away after the 2026 model year.
Finito.
So what you're looking at on the screen is the Mark V Final Edition. That is a matte finish, as I'm sure our audience can tell. And
I do like the homage that they presented to like the original first edition that they did, because it was very similar. It was all a specific color.
Right.
It was just the side mirrors that were red.
And so this car, so the 2026 model year starts this spring. Like, I don't know if they're in dealers right now, but they said, the press release said spring 2025. What you're looking at is called a GT4, it's like a style pack.
Oh.
That will come out as the GR graphic there. There's some GR trim bits and bobs. That comes in the fall of 2025. So this, as you see it here, won't be available for a few more months. But the regular 2026 line, which is the 3.0 and the 3.0 Premium, arriving probably this month at your local Toyota dealers. They've released pricing. So it's game on. Production's going to run for our audience who may wonder how long these will be available. The official word from Toyota is spring 2026. You got about a year to buy this 26 model, whether you're interested in the GT4 pack here or just a regular. Yeah. Those wondering about colors, because I know, Toyota get a little conservative with the colors sometimes. The RC, for example, which is also going away, has two shades of gray, red and white. That's it.
Wow. Yeah.
For this car, they're going to give you Stratosphere, which is blue, Absolute Zero, which is white, Nocturnal, which is black, Renaissance Red 2.0, and the 2 matte finishes. One is called Burnout, and one is called Undercover. They did not tell me or tell us in the press release which one is this, Burnout or Undercover, so I don't know.
I feel like it's Undercover.
Yeah.
It might have to be, right?
Burnout would be black.
Right?
Undercover gray.
Burnout maybe white.
So I read this press release backwards and forwards like multiple times, and I couldn't. They didn't say which color this is.
Yeah. Do you think that's a BMW factory paint job?
I wonder about that.
Like a frozen black?
Well, they are both built at the Magna Steyr plant in Austria, which builds the BMW Z4, which we told you last week. Is going away in 2026 as well. So they've synced up. They have synced up. So both cars are done as of model year 26, the spring likely of 26, for Toyota for sure, and probably for BMW as well. But you could be very well right about that because they're built in the same plant. So that's a high possibility. Yeah. So extra kit. So if you get the GT4 style pack, you get the Undercover or Burnout finish. You get the GT4 inspired graphics. You get some Supra emblems, red mirror caps, which I think you can see there. Yes. A ducktail carbon fiber rear spoiler, which you can see there as well.
Yeah, you can see the pattern.
Inside, there's some detailing, some stitching. I believe there's like a red insert around the shift knob if you have the manual. Both cars, by the way, or all trims rather, manual and automatic for the U.S. market.
Okay.
And I believe for Canada as well.
Yeah.
So you don't have to, it's manual or automatic, it's both. The manual is the 6-speed and the automatic is the 8-speed auto. So you can get either one. But that's it for the Supra. It's going away. Now, in the story I wrote for PassMag.com, I noticed that Toyota didn't say, so stay tuned, guys. In 3 years,
the next one coming
we're going to have the OG Toyota version with no BMW. They did not confirm that. I know some of our audience may wonder, does this mean that Toyota's going to go it alone for future generation Supra? And my thought is maybe, but this is it for the partnership with BMW. That's it.
If anyone's able to kind of take their own vehicle and be able to fund it, I think Toyota is pretty much one of the only companies that can take that risk.
They can have the money for engine development, which is key for these cars. We're going to get to that in just a second. But, okay, that's press release number 1 on Thursday night. Press release number 2 is special edition for the GR86.
Oh.
The Yuzu edition, or am I pronouncing that wrong?
Yuzu? Yeah,
Yuzu.
like the fruit.
I'm revealing my white guyness right now. Yuzu edition, there it is. Now, this car arrives limited production as of fall 2025 as a 2026 model year, so it's not out yet. But it was announced on Thursday with these other announcements. It's a special edition. The 86 has had how many special editions? Like
a million.
A million.
Yeah.
So this is the one for 26. There are, let me just check here, available in a Yuzu yellow. With black wheels and a performance package. That's what you get with the Yuzu edition. 2.4-liter 4-cylinder boxer engine as per usual. 228 horsepower, 184 pounds-feet of torque. A complimentary 1-year membership at the National Auto Sport Association for our U.S. purchasers. So you get some fun track time there.
Wow.
Like some, and expected to arrive in fall 2025.
Yeah.
So this
is coming from the same company that says if you drive your GR Corolla over 100 kilometers an hour, that your warranty is voided. Now
it says here, let me just read make sure I'm not speaking on a turn here. At the bottom of the press release, it says, a complimentary 1-year membership to the National Auto Sport Association, NASA, giving GR owners the chance to experience the world of performance driving in an enclosed road course. Owners will enjoy a host of benefits, including one free high-performance driving event and discounted admission to NASA-sanctioned events. So that's for our U.S. Listeners and viewers. If you're interested in the Yuzu edition, that's what you get. And so I mentioned it's limited production. 800 and... Let me just get this right here. I was reading this before we came on air. 860 units, and almost all of them are going to the U.S. Canada, 30.
Wow.
So the 10% rule, not exactly a thing. So for our Canadian viewers and listeners, 30 units. So don't hesitate to get to your Toyota dealer once they're available for ordering. And the 830 will go to the U.S.
You know what's crazy? They had the exact same allocation for the Hakone edition, the green
one.
The green one. Yeah, because we saw it at the Canadian Auto Show.
Yeah.
I had talked to the Toyota Canada VP to try and purchase one, and they said the exact same thing. 30 were allocated in Canada. The remainder were in the U.S. or across the world.
Yep.
And I do like the fact that Toyota, Subaru, they're bringing back colors that they've done on previous generations of the FRS, 86, BRZ.
Remember the MR2 we did last week that we had that one photo that was the same shade of yellow almost, I want to say.
Same shade of yellow.
Like,
yeah, because
beautiful.
even the Subaru BRZ TS edition, I believe, also it came in a specific yellow, which was very limited. And then the Hakone edition they released for each generation FRS, 86, BRZ. Pretty much every year, and you can see that they're consistently dropping these same colors again for each model at any change that makes.
This is what Toyota says in their official statement. The GR86 will arrive at Toyota dealerships in the fall of 2025. There will be only 860 Yuzu editions assembled for the North American market for 2026. So I think that's U.S. and Canada. I don't think they're including Mexico in that. So 30 to Canada and 830 to the U.S. That's how I read that. So there's no pricing yet, guys. Stay tuned for that. I'm sure by the time we get to the summer, they'll have released pricing. They said fall, so the pricing is usually released a few months before it goes on sale. So
generally, you can expect it to cost as much as like a fully spec'd out factory, ready BRZ or 8.6.
But you're going to get Sachs dampers. You're going to get Brembo brakes. You're going to get what else do they have here?
Because I believe
like
a lot of those
had a previous special editions. You're going to get that kit for this car.
Those are also like I believe factory options that you could outfit at the dealership.
Yes. But they're standard on this car.
But they come standard on the Yuzu and Hakone edition.
Red painted Brembo 4-piston front, 2-piston rear. 12.8 inch front rotors, 12.4 inch rear rotors, so beefy for a car this size, I would say. So that's the GR86 Yuzu edition. So press release number 3 at 9:30 at night. Toyota's hitting me with press releases. Okay, I can read this in full because it's short.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't do a full story for passbank.com, because the press release is like 2 inches long. Like, it's really short. So here's what Toyota has to say officially. And you, audience, in the comments, reach out to us and tell us what you think of what Toyota is talking about here. April 3, 2025. Toyota teases a new GR Corolla vehicle in development. While vehicle details are yet to be confirmed, new fender vents, hood vents, and a rear spoiler can be seen through the camo, highlighting the enhancements on the horizon. Born on the track, this vehicle is expected to have improved aerodynamic performance, a bump in torque, and unique tuning. The Gazoo racing team is still working to fine-tune this vehicle to make it ready for Akio Toyoda's, the former president of Toyota Motor Corp, who is still very much involved in car development, for his final test drive. Stay tuned for more information coming fall 2025. So this is where we were right number 2, in that there is a sports car in development, as we speculated last week. Now, I'm going to, I'm putting my tinfoil hat on here a little bit. I think that what this is, because it's engine development that's happening here.
Yeah.
This is not the same engine that is currently in use in the GR Yaris or GR Corolla. This is something else. Yeah. And my feeling is engine development is what's happening in Japan. They won't say that outright, but that's my read on it. And it doesn't say if it's mid-engine. But if they intended to apply this as a mid-engine vehicle, then I don't think our MR2 speculation is crazy. I don't think it's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't. And they said so, and they'll be telling us. I said last week, before the year is out, we will know. And then they said new information coming, fall 2025.
They're already hinting at it. Yeah, you're right.
So, and someone in our office, I believe his name is Rich, said that he believes that this could be just a newer, different version of the GR Corolla, right, where they just changed the engine. Instead of having the 3-cylinder turbo, it's now 4-cylinder turbo.
That's directly what Rich, I believe, yeah.
You could be very well right, and I could be the fool. It wouldn't be the first time. But I want it to be an MR2. I can't get the mid-engine out of my head. Yeah. I just can't. I'm like, MR2, and maybe I'm wrong. So tell me what you think. Tell us what you think.
It's kind of tricky because, one, I think, given all the practicality of the Corolla, rear seats matter a lot. And putting an engine in like a mid-engine Corolla, you're losing a lot of space in the back seat, cargo area. I don't think that this would be a good MR2 platform. But one thing that I've noticed that I haven't really seen anyone point out online is look at that livery. Where have we seen that livery before? In Tokyo, at the auto salon when they announced the mid-engine GR Corolla.
Yes, that's my first thought.
Exactly.
This was the image attached to the press release, and I thought, this very image right here. Yeah. And I thought, they're basically taking the Tokyo Auto Salon announcement and moving the ball forward, only this time they're saying there is a car coming that they are going to show this year. Yeah. The Tokyo Motor Show is in October. They said fall 2025. Yeah. So that could be when they reveal, and that's their home market, the home Japanese show, the big show for the Japanese OEMs. Yeah, that could be the perfect time to kind of take the wraps off what could be like. I think Rich could very well be right, and those who are saying it'll just be a new GR Corolla.
Or a new
GR Yaris.
I wouldn't say
they'll share this engine.
There's anything different to it, but we've
those
heard
are front engine.
All the skepticals, I think this is going to be front engine. 100%, 100% is going to be front engine.
Then it will probably be a new GR Corolla. Then
it's going to be 100% is going to be a new GR Corolla. I don't think that they should take away from it because right now the GR Corolla is. Its only competition is what? The Volkswagen, the R?
The Golf R is...
The Golf R.
You think about all-wheel drive hot hatches? Because the Civic Type R is front wheel.
We really don't have too many in that competing field. So right now, Toyota is kind of strong-arming since Subaru's almost pretty much out of the picture. Evos are out of the picture. right now they have a market share that they can take care of and kind of, strong arm the competitors. But I believe this is just going to be a 4-cylinder. They're a new 4-cylinder that they've been working on. They're going to throw it into this one.
Right.
Mainly because the 3-cylinder, amazing the fact that they could make a 3-cylinder so like production ready. It's had a lot of people that are upset with it, given the warranty claims, the fact that it caught under fire, the fact that
I've seen the videos.
It's not as tunable as a lot of other Toyota engines, where a lot of people who are buying this want aftermarket parts on their car because it's a 3-cylinder engine to begin with. There's always you can't build. There's no extra displacement that you can really throw in.
The other thing too is so some of the internet speculation is also talking about how this could be a prelude to Honda guy here. This could be a prelude to Honda or Toyota going hybridized. Mm-hmm. This could be hybridized. This could be a step towards hybridization if they change from the 3-cylinder turbo, which is not electrified at all.
Yeah,
where their 4 cylinders have electrification. Okay, not a 4-cylinder turbo usually, but the speculation is that if this is a new GR Corolla, it could have some hybridization. In other words, it won't be pure gas like the current car with the 3-cylinder turbo. Perhaps they would do that with the GR Yaris, which we sadly don't get in North America as well. Both cars could have some form of electrification, like gas electric. It wouldn't have a plug. It wouldn't be a plug-in. It wouldn't be EV.
It would be recharge.
It would just be a form of gas electric hybridization to make the car more future-proof for fuel efficiency, for emissions. Toyota is very concerned about emissions and electrification and tightening fuel standards, as all OEMs are.
Yes.
And so the speculation is that's what this could be. The platform, which is currently all-wheel drive, will probably stay the same.
Yeah,
it'll be some styling changes, some styling updates, probably. I would imagine if this is a new GR Corolla, and it kind of looks like it very well could be.
And it's crazy how the wheels are the exact same on the BRZ.
But Toyota, you know what? Prove me wrong. Prove to me that FTSC concept that we showed last week isn't all just smoke and mirrors, right? Put an engine in that sucker and call it the MR2. That's just me. I'm just wish casting.
Yeah.
But you're probably right, and Rich is probably right. It'll just be another GR Corolla.
Yeah, because right now from Toyota, we don't have any strict 2-seater Toyota car in North America.
No, because the 86 has a small back seat.
The small back seat. I mean, technically,
the Supra was the last one, but it's going away.
It's going away.
So we said last week that there could be a slot open in their model range, and the speculation is the Supra will come back eventually at the end of the decade, maybe as a full OG Toyota. So your dreams of an inline.
Hopefully,
6.
I'm waiting for it.
Could happen.
Yeah.
So, folks, stay tuned. Tell us what you think. Fill up the comments. Reach out to us on socials. Check out my story on passmag.com for the Supra, where I talk a little bit more detail about the car and I list the pricing and all that, and let us know. So that is Toyota Corner, and I'm very happy that we were proven right.
Yeah, it was
we were
great.
Proven right. Our speculation was not speculation.
No,
it was at the time. But then
this
we were
is
right.
how you know that we're professionals.
We're not just wish casting. Well, maybe a little wish casting, but we're not. It's not all wish casting.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to turn to our it's going to be Korea Corner here now. We're moving on to Genesis. And I have to say that these two cars that we're going to look at next, production's rolling a video from a couple years ago of this car. And let me just preface, this car is still a concept. There's a coupe and a convertible. They are not ticketed for production yet. But when you see the photos, you're going to think to yourself, that looks like a production car. They both do. But it's called the X Gran Coupe or Gran Coupe and the X Gran Convertible. So this is a video that Genesis put out a couple years ago. This is obviously a coupe.
All rendered.
Very concept-y for sure. But when we show you the still photos in a second of the two, so the reason we're talking about this now is the Seoul Mobility Show in Seoul, Korea was just, in fact, it's still going on right now. A couple of my colleagues were actually taken to the show by Hyundai, and these are the two cars. Now you look, that's the Gran Coupe.
That's a good looking car.
Gran Convertible is in behind there. You can see it's like a purplish color, and I said in my story, which is also up online at passmag.com, that they're really teasing this out. Like the first Gran Coupe concept was shown. It was called the X concept in 2021. So 4 years ago, they started showing a car like this. And then the Gran Convertible, X-Gran Convertible, came about a year later in 2022. We are now in 2025, and they have been showing this car on auto show circuits. I believe one version of it is in Gran Turismo 7, which is on PlayStation. These cars have been popping up everywhere. But if you look at some of the interior shots and even the exterior, like that doesn't look far from production,
finished.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, our audience may be asking, what about powertrain? And I have no information for you. They did not mention a word of it in the press release. Nothing. So what is it powered by? I don't know. The G90 sedan is what these cars are both based on in terms of proportion.
Yeah.
So big, long, wide. The G90 is the biggest sedan that Genesis makes.
Comfortable,
and these cars are built on the same architecture. So that car uses, let me just do a quick check here. I believe it's a twin turbo V6, 3.5.
Yep.
The G80, which I happen to be driving this week as a press car, is 3.5 liter twin turbo. And I'm just gonna, pull it up here. But it's not a V8. So it's not a V8,
unfortunately,
but it's a twin turbo V6. And that's pretty decent for a car this size, all-wheel drive. So if you're thinking, would this be all-wheel drive? My thought is yes. Would it be hybrid or EV? And I said in my story, Genesis will not. They're concepts. So they're not going to give us that kind of micro detail.
Yeah.
Probably not EV. Probably gas. Probably, if it's based on the G90, the G90, as I said a minute ago,
is gas
only. There's no electrification at all yet.
Yeah.
So could these be have a plug? Like, could they be a plug-in hybrid or a gas-electric hybrid?
Well,
maybe.
If you're right, if they've been teasing at it for so long, there's probably a reason why they haven't released it yet, and it's probably due to maybe getting characteristics about the battery or recharging or something.
Yes.
In terms of that.
So 3.5 liter V6. 375 horsepower, 391 pounds-feet. That's what's in the G90. Okay, right now. So currently. Could these cars have similar output if they use that V6? Maybe.
Yeah.
Unless Hyundai decides to overhaul those engines or update them or boost.
Yeah. I don't think they would need to.
No.
The average consumer that's buying a Genesis probably isn't buying it for speed per se.
Although I have to say, side note, went to a Genesis GV80, which is an SUV, launch last year. They have a Coupe version, which has like a sloping roofline. They have a GV80 SUV, which is more boxy. 3.5 liter twin turbo V6 with an electric supercharger, 405 horsepower, 409 pounds-feet of torque, 8-speed automatic, all-wheel drive. And I was on a press drive for it in Minneapolis last summer, and has launch control.
What?
So yeah, Genesis launch control.
Wow.
So if you're asking me, do they have stuff in the corporate parts bin to boost the power in these things?
Oh, they
absolutely do. Now, they're just using it for the GV80, which is, like I said, is an SUV. Okay, these are cars. So there's no guarantee that they would do that. And maybe it doesn't fit the performance tip. These cars maybe look more like boulevard cruisers, like you want to just cruise on a winding road. You don't want it. You're not going for 0 to 60 time.
This is giving me Audi S5 vibes.
Right. More of and that's not a high performance car either. The RS5 is a performance car.
Exactly.
Not the S5.
Exactly.
And so maybe that'll be what they do here. But what's interesting is, as I said, when I drove this GV80 Coupe, it's got launch control and e-supercharger. I'm like, is this Genesis we're talking about? What? And they said, yeah. So my first thought when I saw these is that maybe they could if they want to make them really rare in terms of like Pinnacle, Halo. Like these look like Halo cars to me for the brand, right?
Yeah.
Like look at that interior. They said there's a crystal detailing in the
it looks like the
console.
same thing that BMW is currently doing with Swarovskis are all around.
Yes, and so with these cars also they're using they've widened the grille, the air intakes. You see the little bit of chrome at the bottom belt, the rocker into the rear.
Oh, yep.
With the exhaust, rectangular exhaust outlets. Those wheels, I looked and looked and looked. They didn't tell me how big those wheels are, but they got to be 22 inches probably.
They look massive.
Yeah.
I got to say though, the side markers, the headlights, and the taillights are giving me kind of like those Adidas pants vibes. Those tracksuits. It's just
fair. And the interior obviously has you see some detailing. So it was inspired by Mediterranean olives and Cabernet Sauvignon, which is wine, obviously. The color has like the deep purple they say that it was inspired by the Tuscany region of Italy and winemaking. Apparently, the leather has a special treatment. It was used by the same kind of process that they use the wastewater to kind of help tan and
wow.
So it has that. They want that kind of. It's not going to smell like a bottle of wine, but it's going to have that kind of Mediterranean kind of influence.
That's cool.
For the color schemes as well. The olive tree is supposed to be for the car on the left, the coupe, the green, and the tan interior.
Yeah.
So they're taking some European influence here, apparently, from what the press release said.
Wow. Yeah.
So no word on when we're going to get a yes or no vote on production. But I said they've been dribbling out these cars. So the video that we showed you was from 2023 at the top, but it goes back to 21 when they were calling it the X concept, and they were showing it at auto shows. But they were just putting it out there to see what people thought of it.
Yeah,
like they weren't saying, "Hey guys, in 6 months we're going to make a call on production." They weren't doing anything like that. And even now, this press release went out at the end of last week or the beginning of this week. Still no. So these are what's on the show floor at the Seoul Mobility Show in if you happen to be in Seoul, South Korea. It runs until I believe the 13th of this month. The show does.
Wow.
They're at the stand there. You can take a look at them. I don't know if you can sit in them or not, but they're there. But no powertrain and no further, like unlike Toyota who said stay tuned. I read to the bottom of the press release and it's like there's no other information. So these might just be a design exercise. We talked about this before. I hope it's not just a design exercise. I hope these turn into real cars because they're beautiful. I mean, look at that.
Yeah, it definitely looks like something you could see on the road.
Yeah,
no problem.
Doesn't it? I mean, the other concepts, if you were to search for Genesis X concept on Google, you're going to find cars that, like even in the video, that look like...
so outlandish.
Yeah, they look like they're a render. They're just a rendering. They're not an actual physical. These are physical cars, right? And so we have another video that I pulled from... this was also from 2023.
Yeah, this looks very... Like, this is giving me Tron vibes, right?
Well, Genesis is going racing. They're going racing in the European Le Mans Series this year. They're going to go to the 24-hour Le Mans next year in 2026. And they're going to race in IMSA here in North America in 2027 in the prototype class. So they're going racing. And our listeners and viewers may know they're going to have something called Magma. Magma is going to be like their M. Their Audi
performance
RS.
line.
Yeah. And so these cars could be Magma cars. Now, they didn't say that, but maybe there could be a high-performance version of each one.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be wild? Like, it could be their version of AMG.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Right now, they definitely have a lot of fuel-efficient 4 cylinders that they're running.
Yep.
If maybe they could do a base model with that and a bigger V6 twin-turbo.
Yeah, because the 3.5 twin-turbo V6 is the biggest engine they have. There's no V8.
There's no V8.
They had V8s back in the old days of the Hyundai Equus. Shout out to the Hyundai Equus.
Oh, that was a big SUV, right? Or no, it was a sedan.
Car. Big sedan.
It was a sedan, yeah.
It became the G90.
It was like their Lexus LS.
When they launched Genesis in 2015, they took the Genesis sedan and the Equus, and that became the G80 and the G90. And there was a V8 option in both, but now it's been 10 years ago. Now So that's it for now, guys. With a little bit of proven, we were right.
We were right.
Toyota, and some interesting concepts from Hyundai from Genesis rather, that we will hope will turn into production cars someday soon. So thank you guys all for tuning in, listening to another episode of Factory Fresh, and we will be back next week.
Yeah.
See you then.
Later.